Hello and welcome to day 15 of the Halloween Craft Countdown, where I'm releasing a new Cricut craft every day for the whole of October. Today we are making faux leather earrings with our Cricut machine. So I've got a little pair of ghost earrings in at the moment, and I've designed these to perfectly match with the ghost hair bow that I released a few days ago. I have also done a pair of bat earrings and pumpkin earrings, again all matching with my previous hair bows. So these are really fun and quick and easy to make, and you can cut them out of just any old faux leather to create beautiful little Halloween earrings. Here are my earrings loaded into Design Space. By default they should load at 2.5 inches high, and that gives you a fairly large earring. So if you prefer them looking more dainty, then resize the height to 2 inches. But I really wouldn't go any smaller than 2 inches, otherwise it'll be too hard for your Cricut to cut the tiny details out of the faux leather. I'll keep mine at 2.5 for now. So when you click Make It, it will sort all the faux leather into the different colours for you. But what you can do to speed things up is to cut everything from one mat. So hit Cancel. And then I'm going to go to Colour Sync at the top of the Layers panel and drag all of the layers onto one colour. I did just do that for black, but to make it easier on the next step for you to see what I'm doing, I'll change it to a bright colour. Now when you click Make It, everything appears on one mat. It means you can click and drag the different shapes to different places on the mat. So we've got our 3 shapes. We've got the big teardrop, which I'll put here. So I'm lining this up, so when I put my faux leather on the mat, I'm going to line it up against the 1 inch line along horizontally and vertically, so I'll know where to put it. The second teardrop I'll put down the bottom, again with the 1 inch and the 11 inch lines, so that's where I will line up my faux leather, and then the pumpkins I will put over here. So when you're arranging your faux leather, now you can just cut a little piece to size and put it all on the same mat. And when you cut it with your Cricut, it will cut all 3 colours at the same time, which is a huge time saver, especially when using faux leather, which does need a little bit of extra work to get it on the mat in the first place, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. Now because we are cutting with faux leather, we're going to be doing it pretty side down on the mat, which means we need to mirror. So over on the left hand side, underneath where you've got the picture of the mat, click the mirror icon and that will flip everything round. We're now ready to cut, so click Continue. And then when that's connected to your machine, you want to choose the faux leather paper thin material type. So even if your leather isn't really thin, which some of mine isn't, then keep it at the faux leather paper thin. I found that in all my tests I've run, that has cut through perfectly. Leave the pressure at default and then load it into your machine once you've put the faux leather on your Cricut mat. Now this faux leather material type is a double cut, so it will make every little cut on the earrings twice. So don't panic if it looks like it is doing the same thing twice, that is actually what it's supposed to do. So now we're ready to put the faux leather onto our mat and make sure we line it up perfectly with the designs that we have just positioned. Now if you do this with the glitter faux leather, it means that some of the glitter will get stuck to your mat, and it will make it all go non-sticky where it ends up with the glitter stuck to it. So to prevent that from happening, what I do is I get a piece of transfer tape and stick that to my mat first, and then stick the faux leather onto the transfer tape, and that way all the excess glitter that gets off of the leather just sticks to this, not my mat. So I've cut a bit of transfer tape, peel it off the backing, and then stick it down so that the sticky side is facing up, because we're going to use that to stick the faux leather to. So I'm going to line this up along the 1 inch line, so that's where I set this up in Design Space. And then now that that is stuck to my mat, I can take my faux leather, turn it upside down and stick that to the transfer tape. So push it down to seal it nice and strong. And then to stop this peeling up because the transfer tape isn't very strong. If you do have strong grip transfer tape, that would be best, but again, I don't, so I'm just using normal. So I'm going to take some masking tape. You could also use blue painter's tape or washi tape. And I'm going to go down each of the edges of the leather and just add some masking tape to make sure this won't move when it's being cut out. Here are my earrings all cut out. And I've done two different sizes. So these ghosts are 2 inches tall and the bats are 2.5 and the pumpkins are 2.5 inches tall as well. So by default they'll load in at 2.5 into Design Space, which is this size. I like big chunky earrings, so that works well for me. But if you do prefer them to be a bit more delicate, then you can resize to 2 inches before you cut, like these little ghosts. For the ghost, I drew on some eyes and some permanent marker for a little bit of character. And then you can see I've added a jump ring and an earring hook to each of these. And I need to do the same to the pumpkins. So to make my earrings, I've got some jewelry making pliers and some earring hooks, which I will need 2 of. Let's take these out. 1, 2, and then some jump rings, and I'm going to put one of these onto each of the earring hooks, and then that's how I'm going to connect the hooks to the earrings. So again, I'll need 2 of those. And the reason that we need these jump rings is to make sure that all the leather hangs the correct way. So without them, if you just put it on the earring hook, not only would it be quite difficult because that earring hook is a lot smaller than the space we have on the earring, but it means there's no real movement possible, so you'll probably find that it just doesn't hang right in the ears. So here are my pumpkin earrings. You see I've got the 3 different layers on each one. So I'm going to put them one on top of the other and line up the holes at the top. And then take one of these jump rings. Now I am not a natural jewellery maker, so if you do make jewellery you'll probably look at this and cry because I'm probably doing it really wrong. But just get the pliers in there and then pull it back to open up that jump ring. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see, but that's now really open. So I can take my faux leather, and actually I might do it one at a time. Just thread that on in the correct order. And then at the back, I'm going to add the earring hook. So you want to position this so that the hook is facing away from your front of the earring. So let's put that on there. And then I'm just going to hold the jump ring at the bottom. This is very fiddly and small. I'm sorry, you probably can't really see what I'm doing. But then just use your pliers to close up that jump ring. And there is your earring all ready. Now if you wanted to, you could glue the layers together, either just the top 2 or all 3, but I quite like how it swings about and moves about a bit so you can see the colours underneath as you're wearing them. But of course that's completely up to you. If you'd rather you didn't get any movement and you just had it perfectly lined up, then you can glue it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. Show you again. And apologies if it's not very clear what I'm doing. So open up the jump ring. Put the earring pieces in. And then put the earring piece on at the back so that the hook is facing away from the front of your earring. And then just close it up again with the pliers. This is very fiddly. I'm not really a fan of small fiddly things. I don't know why I thought earrings would be a good thing for me to do. Okay, so that's closed up. And that is my pair of earrings done. So you can see how quickly these come together once you've cut them out from the faux leather. Honestly, the working out where to put the leather on the mat is probably the hardest thing about this project. So here are my little Halloween earrings all finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, you can get the free cutting files for all 3 pairs of earrings, as well as matching hair bows, over on my blog, which is craftwithsarah.com, or follow the link in the description. I'm releasing a brand new Cricut craft every day in October, so check out my other videos for a load more crafts. Thank you for watching.